I came to Asilong in 2009. I came with Andy and Pastor Simi. I remained in the school because when I went to the school, there were no teachers. The students were just sitting idle in the class. And I said, okay, I can help the students as Simi and Andy go to the field to check on boreholes. And I stayed behind with the students in the primary school. I saw a thirst in the students. They were ready to learn. They are willing to get education, but there was no teachers. There were no facilities. Yeah, the area was very dry. That then, when I asked the people, they told me that for almost more than 3 years there was no rain. So I came to this place in 2009. There was no food in the area. The school had closed down. And just a few students who were in the school. There are very few teachers. At least there were 2 teachers teaching in the primary school. And when I went back to Nairobi, I had a very heavy heart of what I saw in the area. The people were friendly, the people were welcoming, the children were nice, and they are willing to go an extra mile in their lives, but somehow there was no help that they were getting. Especially I was struck in the school when I went there with no teachers, and the children have the thirst to go to school. And that thing lingered in my mind, and I said, yes, Lord, I will go back to Asilong. And I came back.
Yeah, Asilong, it was a bush before. There were no school. But when we came to this place, we are eager to know many things. But there were no teachers, there were no classrooms, we didn't have even water.
Meminye tile kumwa la kama sunoji kuwe ja tange ule. Atotile kimenye wole teke peto ti swom wala na ke wuri ni motile kwa daliba. La lwa doni nyoki indo ya jangidle. Atoka pa ke wole yukanda wole. Ke pa ke nyuru la lwa nyo indo na po nyo weto kwe wole gam nyo gile lo gilim. Well,
water wells is the reason that Olivia and I ended up in West Pokot. In early 2010, I decided to bring Olivia here because I was so impressed with what God was doing in this area.
The first time I came to Asilong, I took Andy aside after about literally 20 or 30 minutes and said, oh my goodness, this is where we're supposed to be. The Pokot in this area seem to be a forgotten people, forgotten by other Kenyans, the government, and seemingly even by God. They were barely surviving and had very little hope for a future. The basic message we have expressed from the beginning has been that they each have intrinsic value because they were created in the image of God.
ngwa cha mani nyo karam akapaita nyo gilitinyo kipo ule Uganda paita ngapa Uganda nyine kimo kusama mission ngala preacher kusama mission kitoli njaba sapi kaba za nyori ya nyora.
The presence of a water well here would be a life-changing event for the community.
Kimungene ya ke cuma na ragpurra citu bi matawai ki ruyo to ri. Ani agil ke bau pa glenyu. Amami nyu pagata ke cha bong.
Kaso ya cha nyu le ke karam ra atau ka karam ra nyom bolo ro se nyu le ka te nye dire ya go toro nya te pa chan bolo kaso wan le ke le mangon nyo karam atoro se nye ko ro ne te la pa ye wele su ye la cosa no ma pa te me le ye ke cosa no ni rubiye woni ki me minya ra nyo ki mito Nyini lihat tapa nono kom mara lo kerake. Toai nana yelo te jago inyori kini ngone bago.
Along with my friend Heidi, who has been with me from the beginning, we have shared numerous Bible studies with the women. It is always a humbling experience to encourage women in their faithfulness to God when they face a much more challenging life than many do in the West. Because polygamy is still practiced in Asilong, the women are also learning practical ways to get along with their co-wives. Issues of physical abuse and female circumcision come up often. Heidi and I are teaching the unmarried girls from the village about their bodies and about maintaining feminine hygiene in such a harsh environment.
The wells made a huge change. They were a massive impact to this area. It started drawing people to the area. The school was successful and became a growing primary school in the area. And we started coming back to work with the school, to work with the community. And Julius Sawe was asked to come back because there were now 12 wells and the community was growing and there was a need for someone to sort of oversee that area.
Kaya ba nyami kultur rito keswa mono nyo me muito anye ke na jiba shulwa kwane nyokra. Kanya ka ngeregi ja ka pisa bichone kilo kwa kwa cha kilo kichicha.
Ganyo ne nyoma magere yanye kapka ngata hirini Kuriel jija mongono karam kabisa. Kuriel waja sukuli ya nyuji. Akuriel waja kanisa. Otiri gerel wa toni kripenyu aja nyungala jo karamat.
We stayed in the church, na local AIC church, where we were sleeping there. And Andy and Simeon went to the field to check on boreholes that were being repaired. There were around 3 boreholes that were being repaired then.
And at that time, we found out that some of these wells that now have been in operation for a year were having problems. And the warriors in the community said, this well is breaking down, you need to fix it. And we were very, very concerned about creating dependencies, not wanting to create a dependency in the area, but more so to create to actually create capacity in the community to be responsible for their own well-being. So we took that as an opportunity to highlight to them that the water wells did not belong to us, that actually the water wells were theirs, and that their lives were being impacted in a positive way because of the wells, and that they needed to take care of the wells. Their response was, we really don't know how to take care of a water well. We don't know exactly how it works. We don't have the tools. And we said, we can help you with that. And that was the beginning of the idea to create a technical team or a water well repair team in Asilong.
Kelen jana wan ke kami ka ko age kirbi ole te wol. Kimi werin janyo yo jurupan. Kelen jana chawan mo muka nya kasi noni ke kirganyin de. Nyo wiye ka kasi noni. Achaman. Otina gitoran yo kas ke mo lagi ne tapi. Yo mi tari. Ikene ta jamba tompora to na. Ki chang man bi. Kanyo na ke kia jabat kas le nyoni. Ebe jawle na mur.
As you know, there's no way the school can survive without water. In the history of this area, some years back, there was no water and there was no even settlement. People used to move from one place to another looking for water. And when you came here some few years even before 2009, you could not find a huge population like today, because people are still moving from one place to another looking for water. The women used to carry water from very far distances, just for their household use and for their children, yeah. And it was a huge problem for them. When the boreholes came and people started building their homes for a long time, because they were just building very temporary homes, they stay for 1 month, they move. 2 months they move. But now there are some people who have lived in the same spot since then for more than 5 years, which was quite unusual in the previous years. And the main reason is that there are boreholes, they have enough water surrounding them. So I can say they now began to have an organized life. Their children could go to school nearby, they go back home, their animals can drink water close by. So their life was organized. And I can say the boreholes was a huge impact to the life and the economy of Asilong up to this day. Their children began to go to school, because there is no way you can take a child to school today. After 1 month you have moved to a different location, there is no school. You will interfere with the school's life of a child. And therefore when they settled, now the children could permanently, will have a good time to go to school without being interrupted in between. That was like a huge impact of the boreholes to the life of school of the children. In 2009, when I came back, I fellowshiped with an AIC church, which is just close by where we are now. We had around 10, mostly were women, if I can remember. Yeah, there were around 10 women in the church then who were coming to church, and they were going through difficulty time because of the culture was resisting them. There were no men coming to church, and they were just struggling to come to church. It was a very low turnout for those who are coming to church then. I thank God for what He has been doing in the church. When I came here, as I remember, the first thing I came to do with the church, I joined hands with the people who were there, the leadership that were there, and we joined hands with them. And we used to have prayer meetings with them, just praying for the area, praying for the men, praying for the children. And over time, God was doing something, doing evangelism in the villages, visiting the sick, visiting those who don't have food. And the church was able to be planting some maize they were planting. So we used to take some maize to the communities and giving those who don't have. And that was a huge impact for the people to come to church and to come to know the Lord. Those who had come to church were living a complete different lifestyle. And their character, their way of living, their way of dressing, their way of behavior, it was completely different. And I believe that Christ was doing something in their lives. Initially, the women never saw any importance of them coming to church. Initially, it was a total disagreement with their culture. They saw the church as a point whereby it's not a place for men to be. It came as a testimony. The testimony was so huge in the area, and the people started coming to church. They, one by one, and they came. And as of today, we are talking like close to around 300 350 people in the church. They never knew what the church was because mostly they were out fighting with the Karamoja people, protecting their property, protecting their animals. And that is why most men could be found at home. And many women were just at home. There is still a huge fight between culture here and the church. Some of the men, majority of them, still want to hold on the traditional Pokot culture. For example, the marrying of second wife, which many of the men are still looking for that, for the second marriage, marrying the second wife. There are many challenges that come. Taking care of the children, they have not a lot of wealth to take their children to school. And so when you marry a second wife, it completely brings down your economic life. And you'll not be able even to take their children to school. Health care will become a problem for you. And therefore, in the long run, even coming to church becomes a problem because you are battling and struggling to feed the family that is you cannot be able to feed. And that will have a huge impact even when you are coming to church and participating fully in the church activities. When I came, the church was standing, yes, but there were no windows, there were no doors in the church. Cows and donkeys will just get into the church and sleep inside. Anybody can get inside the church. A few years after 2009, the church was growing, and we sat down with the church and we had a fundraising. And the church was able to put windows and doors and paint the church as you can look in the picture. And they are owning their church. It's their local church in the community, and they are owning it. It's a great thing for them.
Kurieli ya nyaja ndo kurieli ya omba pau ya yile chile chomen. Kapka acha pau akitile jitu pich atilili tuan atanye telani.
And they were taught things against FGM. And when they went back home, they told their parents, mother or father, this thing that we are doing is not right. It's against the human rights. And many of the parents changed.
So we cha nyu na ta jetele so ju na jimu wi bi. Rosi omba cha mba tono tine ka so ya ke ka tkin ke ta nyu tkin ke pa ke ga te gwe cha ko ro nya gum to ti te gum ni la na ke su ka cha ka ka ma. Ka ko ne cha na pu na nyo na dem. Kami te ja nyu ke kan mo ne ja.
In 2002, the house was built, and that house was built with the church. It was said that that house will be used for hospital. So I was telling God, I'll come and open this house to be clinic, so that our people could not suffer anymore traveling so far to reach Kacheliba to seek for medication, going to Orolwa seeking for medication. So now I see that when I finish my school, I'll come and open that clinic because I'll be having license. I'll be allowed to open that clinic officially, so that our people in this community from other places can come and access medicine in this place.
Amba mwa ken jongu ne nyuri ne nyukoro na gerial gule ko papa jan. Akamone chiyenyu jetenyu ge toro tete.
My brothers and sisters in this community, they can now access that education in this place, Asilong Christian High School. They can learn. They have no transport to waste, just traveling that far like me that I had no high school nearby, but now they can access that high school. And I thank God for that. It has contributed a lot to this community, and people love that school so much.
Nyoacha ngo bikilombe sam yenyu ko mbandi kijere jake na mage morin kabisa le. Ya ke yoki jaji ba ser